This is Mrs. Brode, and this is day 2 of solving variables on both sides. Today we're going to add just a little bit of extra to some of these problems, something we didn't discuss in the last lesson. But I'm going to have you start out by working problem number 1, because this one is a review of what we did in lesson 1-6. So go ahead and pause your video. Remember to simplify anything first, distribute, combine like terms, and then solve it. Push play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so you should get the answer that v is equal to -5. So first I went ahead and distributed on the left, and then I combined like terms on the left. And then I moved the -v to the other side by adding it, and then solved it like a two-step equation. Remember that you can, and I encourage you to go back and plug in that answer and check that both sides of the equation are equal, and to make sure that you didn't make a simple mistake somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Number 2 looks a lot like the last one, where we are going to have to do some distributing before we can begin actually solving the problem. So on the left side, I get 2g, and 2 times -2 is -4. And don't forget the -4 that's already there. And then I'm also going to have to distribute on the right, 2g minus 6. Okay, one more thing before I continue to move on is I need to combine on the left-hand side my numbers. So I'm going to get 2g minus 8, because -4 minus -4 equals -8, equals 2g minus 6. So now I can start solving. And I want to move my g's first. So what you should notice now is that you've got 2g on both sides. So no matter which way I move them, if I subtract 2g from 2g, they cancel out on both sides. I no longer have a variable. What I do have is -8 equals -6. That is not a true statement. -8 will never equal -6. So this is a false statement, which means there is no actual answer to this problem. So this is different from yesterday, or from our last lesson, because on the last lesson, every variable had a value. In this case, the variables canceled out. This is definitely false. So we call this answer a no solution. So that's what you would write for your answer to this problem, is no solution. Another way to write this is a 0 with a line through it. Not just a 0, because the answer is not 0, but it's a 0 through a line with a line through it. That means the same as no solution. Do not just write false, okay? So one of these two answers should be what you show me for this, which means I could plug in any number in the world and both sides would never be the same. So for example, let me plug in 2 for g. If I plugged in 2 for g, 2 minus 2 is 0, times 2 is 0. I would get -4 on the left. 2 minus 3 is -1. Times 2 is -2. Again, false. I could plug in any number I wanted to, and I would never get both sides to equal out. So that is called a no solution. Now, you're not going to get no solutions all that often, but just be aware that sometimes the equations cannot be solved. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at number 3. Same thing, we need to go ahead and distribute first. And we're going to have to do that on both sides. So on the left, I get 3m plus 15 minus 6. And on the right, I get 3m plus 9. Okay, I do need to go ahead and combine my like terms here. and I get 3m plus 9 equals 3m plus 9. So what you should see is that these are already equal to each other. But I'm going to go ahead and show you that these variables would cancel out just like they did in problem number 2, no matter which way you move them. But in this case, we are left with 9 equals 9. Well, 9 equals 9 is a true statement. So we call this one something different. We call this one all real numbers. And what that means is I can plug in any number that I want into this problem, and it will always make both sides of the equation true. Okay? So that's what you would show me for your answer. The other thing you could show me is a double line R. That means the same thing as all real numbers. So don't just tell me that the answer is true. You have to tell me that it's all real numbers or the symbol for all real numbers. And again, that means that any number I plug in for m will work for both sides of the equation. So those are the two situations that are a little bit different from yesterday's, or from lesson 1-6. Okay, so we've got one more problem to solve. You can see there's a lot going on in this problem. We've got parentheses, we've got brackets. We're still going to go ahead and work it piece by piece. I'm going to go ahead and try to get rid of parentheses. Both within and outside of the brackets. So on the left, I've got 3r plus 3 minus, I'm going to go ahead and keep these in parentheses or in brackets right now, minus 6 minus 4r minus 9. And remember, negative times a negative makes a positive 3r. And then I'm going to distribute on the right as well. 2r plus 10 minus 4. Okay, so brackets are treated just like parentheses. We still need to go ahead and do the order of operations and combine everything inside these brackets first. So I've got 3r plus 3 minus, inside the brackets, I have a negative 4r plus 3r, which is a negative r. And then 6 minus 9, which is a negative 3. And then on the right-hand side, I also need to combine my 10 and my negative 4. And I get 2r plus 6. So we've done a lot of work, but we still are not finished because we still have a bracket, which is like a parentheses. So what do I distribute throughout that bracket? I distribute this negative. That's like a negative 1 to everything inside. So 3r plus 3, I'm going to distribute a negative times a negative makes a positive r. A negative times a negative makes a positive 3. And now I just have one more step before I can actually continue to solve the problem. And that is to combine like terms on the left-hand side. So I've got 3r and r makes 4r. 3 plus 3 makes 6. I can finally go ahead and move my variables to the same side now. You can see you have to be super careful on these types of problems because there's a lot of places to make mistakes. So on the left, I've got 2r plus 6 equals 6. I'm going to subtract 6. I've run out of room. 2r equals 0. I'm going to divide each side by 2, and this time I get r equals 0. This is different than a no solution. This is the actual value of r. Notice my variables did not cancel out. I had 2r on the left. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So I get an answer of r equals 0. Again, this is different than a no solution. This is the actual value of r this time. A no solution means that the variables canceled out and nothing will work for that equation. So just remember the difference in those two. So our last part is just a summary of no solution versus all real numbers. And remember, a no solution is when all the variables are removed or eliminated and the statement that's left over is false, then the answer is called a no solution. So remember, for all real numbers, when the variables cancel out, if the statement that's left over is true, then the solution is all real numbers, which means no matter what number you plug into that equation, both sides are going to be equal to each other.